areas. They might be fine in Florida, California, Southern California, Georgia, places like that, but I don't think they're really going to supersede petroleum-based vehicles in, the Northeast, like I said, Central Plains and Montana and the West. I just don't see that happening. 30, 40 below? What are they going to get, 26 miles before his battery is dead?
I have not seen many at all in northern New York and in and around the Adirondack Mountains in my travels and simultaneous there. There's just not many of them on the road. But then you realize it's 50 miles to Walmart from the town where I'm at up there. It's 50 miles to Walmart. It's 20 miles to any significant civilization. And we have the record low temperature for New York State of minus 52.
Now imagine you're sitting in
exactly cold weather in the Tesla, that's for sure. Neighbors have it for 3 years.
Imagine you're sitting in traffic, okay, in the wintertime, trying to stay warm in your battery-powered car as the battery just slowly goes away. I mean, we have traffic jams around here that sometimes people are sitting in traffic for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, were you near D.C.?
Yeah.
Well, I moved 3 times in the last 20 years, and every time it was another 10, 15 miles farther north and west of New York City. So I don't have that problem anymore.
What's going to happen, is that the first time there's a major snarl around here, you're going to have some significant number of, battery-powered cars that run out of juice and clog up the thoroughfare even more. I mean, imagine if you got, 100,000 electric cars out there, and you got a, 4 or 5 hour pileup in the snow in the middle of the winter. I mean, we're talking about a lot of stranded people.
No. Instead of jumping cables, they'll just have extension cords, and they'll all plug into the nearest AC outlet.
There'll be gigantic extension cords on the Long Island Expressway here in New York. Stupidity. Those cars are going to be plowed off to the side of the road, destroyed, buried under ice, batteries shorting out, fires, toxic waste, EPA reported. It's not going to work in these cold areas, that's for sure.
Are you saying coal power is not a practical way to power a vehicle?
It's not a problem.
Well, and people are going to be running their heaters, too, in the cold.
I ran mine all day. Not the slightest bit of difference. I ran the seat heat, the heater, the air conditioner at one point just to get some fog off the windshield. Still clipped on 250 miles, and that was with a 80% charge.
We'll have to install gasoline-powered heaters in it to keep it warm.
I'm going to invest in a towing company.
I worked in that business. It's a job you don't want to do.
I like the idea of just pushing them all off the road. That's a nice visual.
With the big DOT salt trucks with the wide ass wings on the front.
Yeah, man, like Soylent Green. Just scoop them up.
Like Road Warrior. W2JBL.
K1MB. That'd be funny to see.
Listen, I was the last... It kept getting worse every year. I didn't work in New York City. I worked in Westchester County, 25 miles north of New York City. And after I moved up here... even before I moved up here, when I still lived close to that location, Mount Kisco, New York is where I used to work. I would spend an hour to an hour and a half every morning in traffic to get to work, and then another hour to an hour and a half going home every night. And I just couldn't freaking stand it anymore.
Christ, I'd shoot myself if I had to do that.
Hi, Perry.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, Jim, and hi, Darryl. I had, I had to work. I had no choice. And it just kept getting worse and worse. It started out when I first worked in that location. It was only like a half hour, 45 minutes of traffic. As people moved north out of New York City to escape the insanity, the traffic just get worse and worse. Hi to Daryl. If that's Daryl in there, I'm going to scoot upstairs and grab another container of my favorite beverage.
And I'll be right back after this.
Wow, Timmy is still riding along.
And now...
Yeah, I'll probably slip in here in a little bit.
And Daryl, drive by with the great signal.
Daryl's always just warming things up.
Daryl just floats in, makes a lot of good AM, and then leaves.
Yeah, it's like he warms everything up and then shuts it down.
He's just the straw that stirs the drink.
He's supervising.
I think it's chaperoning is the word.
Good night, gentlemen, from W2GOR. Good to hear everybody.
Night, Gordon.
Okay, good night, Gordon.
Night, John Boy.
Gordon.
73. See you later.
Good night, Gordon. We'll talk to you later. I haven't been out in the other part of the house yet. I'm still making my bachelor chili. We'll talk to you later, and hope. Well, anyway, I'll reply an email. WA1QIX.
Okay. I wouldn't go in there if I was you.
You're not putting any beans in that chili, are you, Steve?
Hey, Gordon.
Of course. I mean, it wouldn't be chili without. I got four kinds of beans in here. I got garbanzo beans. I got black beans. I got kidney beans. I got white beans. Man, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm having deja vu all over again.
Beans. It's all right.
Good luck in the cornhole test.
Well, me and your shed for about an hour. Could be smelly.
Well, look, you know,
I think the band has gone long. Tim is piss weak, and so is Steve MV.
Yeah, you're all fading out.
all right, I want to know who puts beans in their chili.
I do.
Wait. What?
I do, obviously, because that's the only way to make it.
We got 2 votes for beans. Anybody else?
Right, Timmy?
No, man. Beans do not go in chili. Who puts beans in chili? Who else?
Everyone.
Everybody on the East Coast that I know.
Oh, my God.
When I was in the Air Force, and I was stationed in Tinker Air Force Base, they served beans in their chili.
Yeah, well, that figures.
That was back in 1972.
Beans are good. They generate fart gas to keep you warm.
Yeah, beans. Chili without beans is like a ham fest without B.O.
Yeah, but down in Texas, they don't put beans in them. It's just all meat.
No, it's not all meat. I mean, we put all kinds of stuff in the chili, but we don't put beans in it. I mean, that's like putting sauerkraut in cereal.
But personally, I never bathe before going to a ham fest. You blend in.
Yeah, when in Rome.
Yeah, seriously, I never bathe before going to a ham fest. It's just wrong. Yeah, why bother?
How else do you Dutch oven your wife if you don't have beans in your chili?
LOL.
Dutch oven your wife. That's a good one.
Pull covers over both of your heads and start cutting those SBDs.
Dutch oven your wife, huh? That's a good one.
15 minutes before the wife, you start, letting out the beads, and then the lights are down, and she flips open the covers to get in, and there you go.
That's a way to set the mood.
Well, it depends what she's into.
It works just as well as Clark's method of sudsing up the hot tub.
Hey now. So, who knew that shower gel was so potent?
Well, at least you didn't bring in some electrical device.
That wasn't in the video.
The old hairdryer in the tub?
Yeah, that AC/DC radio, so I could listen to 3873.
Well, that was a certain scene in one of the original James Bond movies. Bad guy bursts into the bathroom, the good guy's in the tub, or somebody's in the tub, and the guy throws an electric heater in there.
Clark's been shocking women since high school.
Well, that was a Van de Graaff generator that handled the first one.
Yeah, did you do any of that with the spark transmitters on display at the W2RCA event? I thought of you and that story.
Well, actually, not W2RCA was actually a different location. I was at the one which had the 1BCG replica transmitter. That thing was about as ornery as you can get. Man, it's amazing. They replicated all the fuss from back in 1921 beautifully. If it wasn't blowing up fuses, and yes, you ever heard a glass fuse explode? I did twice. Hey, by the way, it's all on video. Yeah, Mike K3FBF videoed the whole thing. There were some exciting moments there. There were exploding fuses, there were sparks, there was smoke, and it wasn't even a Valiant. I mean, it was amazing.
I just wish they had positioned the camera on the other side of the table, like looking down onto the equipment, instead of where it was, because all I saw mostly was the fat butts of the hams working on the transmitter.
Oh, you did see the video. Okay.
Clark, I thought I copied a transmission from N1BCG, but I wasn't sure if it was somebody spamming or if it was between W1AW and W1AM or something like that. Am I on the right track?
Yeah, send an email to 1bcg@antiquewireless.org and let them know. They'll send you a certificate.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't know. It sounded a little suspicious, so I didn't send it in.
Well, you would have known because that transmitter sounded like no other. I ended up calling a friend of mine at W1AW, and this was about something else, but they knew that we were working on that transmitter, and he picks up and he sees that it's me, and he just starts laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? He goes, what's up with that transmitter you guys are using? We're listening here. I'm like, yeah, it's not as easy as one would think. We've got like 3 professional master oscillator power amplifier design transmitter wranglers on scene.
Well, the reason I asked is because what I copied was very clear, stable CW, and then later on, I heard a very warbly, I would say chirpy transmission, which I expected N1BCG to sound like. So I was confused about which was the real transmission or somebody spoofing you guys.
No, Kevin, you may have heard me working GB2ZE in Anderson, Scotland on my Viking Ranger. And Clark, I'll tell you the story. I'm going to tell the whole story of that in a minute, but you might have heard me with a chirp and a pretty bad drift.
Oh, okay. So N1BCG didn't have the, 1BCG did not have the chirp and the drift?
No, they also had the chirp and the drift, but my Ranger was almost as bad.
Okay, well, I can, I don't know, maybe I got to read you guys the copy that I had, and it was very short. And you can tell me whether that was real or not. But I'll submit it anyway. You know, if I have egg on my face, I have egg in my face. WZAJ.
W2JBL. Clark, you still there?
I am here, N1BCG.
Okay, here we go. Johnson Ranger on 160 meter CW to work the guy in Scotland driving a 4-1000 amplifier. I had about 1200 watts carrier coming out of the thing, or 1200 watts. But I just got this Ranger a month ago. It works nice on AM. It's quite stable. After a considerable warm-up. Never tried it on CW. So I go to get the, and it's a big deal to get this thing off of 1885 where it was. The antenna tuner is upstairs and the station is downstairs. There's a lot of running around, you know, getting the thing tuned up. I immediately learned two things about this particular Ranger. One, the spot signal, the 0 position on the mode switch, operates the transmitter at full plate and screen voltage. And to make matters worse, I discovered this after calling the guy in Scotland like 4 times, and he didn't come back. It was a clear frequency. He was calling CQ to crickets. Nobody could hear him. So at one point I discovered that the spot signal was about about a half a kc different from the actual signal on the air. So problem number 2. Okay, now I can't spot the thing. What am I going to do? I'm going to unmute the receiver, and I'm going to switch the VFO across the band, and it's a little ratchety. The VFO tuning is jumping around a little bit. I never had it below 1885. So I'd set it would move. I'd set it would move. So I'm swishing this damn thing all over the band, trying to 0 beat the guy that I want to call in Scotland. Made all kinds of racket, but finally, once I got, you know, in the right place, he gave me a 589, and I got the certificate and all the good stuff. But I wonder how many people heard me effing around with the Ranger, thinking it was BCG.
No, the one BCG transmitter was on, it was supposed to be on 1821, but it was also on 1806 and 1809. So if you were not anywhere near those frequencies, then I don't think that there would be confusion.
Well, W1AW I think was on 1820. The pile-up for W2 RCA was like 1825, and the guy in Scotland was just above that. I think I was on 28, so my VFO spotting and so on cut a wide swath through those stations.
WZAJ with traffic.
Well, see that? There was a perfect tribute to 1921.
Let me tell you what I copied. Okay, here's what I copied. On 1821, at 23:30 Zulu, on 1821, on December 11th, I copied W2NTN from W1AW. Thanks for call. Your RST is 599599. Name is Joe. We're testing antenna W2NTN from W1AW. Then I say W1AW from W2NTN. R, thanks Joe, RST 599599, best 73s, W1AW, DE, W2NTN, SK.
Yeah, that's not us. Joe is Joe Karsha at W1AW, but that's not us.
Yeah, I think somebody was pulling my leg.
Pulling his pud.
That pile-up on W1AW was so bad, I couldn't punch through it with the freaking 4x1.
Jeez.
Yeah, oh, it was bad news. So I got frustrated. So, you know what? I'll go up. I'll see if I can hear the guy in Scotland. And there he was, about 3 or 4 kc up the band from W1AW, calling CQ in the clear. He was S9 on an S3 noise level. And he's calling CQ to crickets. And then I sat back and realized after I worked him, that probably the average station with the off-center fed, end-fed, half-wave, triple ballon design, modern 160-meter limited space antenna doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of hearing the guy, and that's why nobody answers.
Yeah, man, by the way, that's a common Ranger problem.
The one I had back in the day didn't do that. So I've got plans for this, and, well, just briefly, Tim, I don't want to start the Ranger modification net, but I had an idea. You sent me a few years ago a 6-volt filament transformer that's probably good for about 8 or 10 amps. It was for a 4CX1500 project that I ended up not doing. I sold the tube. But I had the transformer. And if I solid state the Ranger, the room that was formerly occupied by the rectifier tubes will hold that transformer. That's my filaments. Ranger needs 6.5 amps at 6 volts, 6.3 volts for the filaments. So I'll run the filaments hot and key this stupid high voltage transformer. I will have one cool-ass Ranger.
The real question is what we're doing is Scotland lobby.
Kevin doubled with Tim and we're both lost.
And I said that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And the plate transformer will run a hell of a lot cooler. So I got to get in there and look at how the push-to-talk is going. Right now, I'm just enjoying using the thing as is. It's sitting next to an R390 non-A. They run really hot. And on top of that is a TMC slot bucket adapter, and just to the left of that is the 4x1. That setup heats this room almost as well as the 43,000 BTU pellet stove in the next room.
Well, the question that I had for you, laddie, was what were you doing in Scotland?
Well, I was 589 in Scotland at Androssan.
Aye, matey.
Yeah, man.
This is WA1H from Yallar, Henry Yallar.
W2JDL. Going through some of my cassette tapes today.
KC2FXE Catskill.
His Christmas Eve and Christmas Day homecoming jamboree and CQ, the greatest story ever told. Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
You remember hearing that?
Well, that reminds me, I got to get a set of chimes for this operator position. I only got one upstairs.
This is amateur radio station 2.4 Radio Fever.
Boy, there's a lot of T-rash on this channel.
That's right.
I don't hear that much tonight. The Texas traffic net is there, but they're quite weak at the moment.
Yep. Well, I'm using a transmitter I generally don't use here. I'm on the Blue Magoo.
Sounds like the Blue Magoo.
Yep. We had a bit of an ice storm. Things are still iced up, and the wire array is not really functional due to the amount of icing, at least here. You go down to 3705, and she's got a very good match. And my 75-meter dipole, it's better than it was. A certain amount of it kind of melted off or flaked off, so who knows? Maybe because we're going to have day after day temperatures below freezing, who knows how long it'll be before the ice does go away.
Oh, that sucks. It was 40 degrees here again today. We're gonna have a brown Christmas, as in mud. It looks like, but I know it's upstate New York. Come like mid-February, we'll get buried a couple of times. It never fails, but for now it's nice. I may Christmas Day. I may even take the hot rod Chevy out for a cruise. There's no road salt down.
Jeez, well. Ain't that special? We've got, I don't know, 3 inches or so around here.
It snowed twice so far this year, and both times it was only like a dusting to a half an inch, but it was cold. It stayed on the ground. Hey, I'm enjoying it while I can. Like I said, in a few weeks we'll probably get buried.
No snow in Cleveland. We're going to have palm trees here and girls in bikini on the north coast in January.
Huh?
That transmitter's got some history behind it.
What, this thing?
Hitting my S meter, Chris.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm on Herb. W2VJZ's Johnson Kilowatt. I'm surprised nobody tells me I sound different because I'm at a different operator position. Normally, this transmitter is remote controlled. I'm upstairs in my really nice warm ham shack. That's the main station, but I have local control capabilities. So tonight I'm downstairs running this thing locally, which has been a problem in the past, but I fixed the problems, and we get to use the R390 as a non-A PLC sideband converter. Big pile of cool stuff I got down here.
Well, I have to take it back. Only 35 over estimate, so
Sorry. I'll still pick that. I enjoy the hell out of this transmitter. Okay. I have a problem when I operate locally because the microphone is only like 3 feet from the modulation transformer. And the mod transformer is suffering, so I have a high-pass filter kicked in and processing it. It's cutting pretty quickly. It's cutting off just below the frequency where it will feed back, so I guess that's how I'm getting away with it. I'll have to remember that.
the daily double.
Yeah, we doubled, Chris. I was saying I wonder if 75 is going to go long. The MUF is up there, the sunspot numbers are up there, and generally when that happens, the band does not go long.
It was, and then it wasn't. I was still hearing Gordon. I can hear Clark. They're a little watery, but a couple of nights in a row, I've noticed if people stayed on, it would come back by, 8:30 or so. People would fade out and they'll come back, and it was good until like midnight.
You're overloading that receiver.
This morning, and came out here, and I could hear this piss-weak little signal on 85 dorking around and bellowing out CQs, and it was Gordon, and man, he was piss-weak. But I figured I'd give him a call, so I did, and Frank, W2SDR, jumped in at the same time, and he was strapping to beat hell. And Gordon is far away, but closer than Frank. And over that short a distance difference, I could barely hear Gordon. He got weaker, and then he just disappeared. Frank was hearing him okay.
Well, Gordon is close to here. I'm going to say, well, he's located in the town where I used to work, at Tulsa. I think he's in Katona, New York. I'm going to say he's about 18 miles from here, 18, 20 miles from here. He's really, really strong. I don't think he's running that much power either. I got to get down to see him. Kevin, you're 30 over. This meter and this particular receiver is not right. It reads a little on the low side. But you're 30 over, that being 70 dB on a Collins R390. So you're right up there.
You're beating my S meter like a baby sheep.
from the Nanook of the North.
Kevin, you probably don't know the story of Herb W2VJZ from New Jersey. He was my arch enemy. He was a lot of people's arch enemy. To the victor go the spoils. This Johnson Kilowatt was his.
Wow. Poetic justice.
Okay, fine. Something like that, with a little bit of karma thrown in, because I had done some bad things to that guy. Okay. I bought the transmitter from Terry, W2PFY. He bought it from Herb's estate sale. It was at his camp up in New York, in the Adirondacks. So this was November 2018. I got the transmitter. Terry drove down with it. I got a couple of guys, big burly guys, to help me move it inside. So, everybody's, I get the transmitter inside, everybody goes home. And later that night, I almost burned the house down, and I almost think it might be karma from Herb getting me back, because I had fired up this big Franklin stove I had in my living room at the time. I had just moved into this house, and I built a roaring fire in that thing, and I threw one of those wax fire logs in there, which they make fantastic heat. Well, I forgot to open the damper on the wood stove, and I had a roaring fire with the doors on the Franklin stove open for an hour, all the windows and doors of the house open while it burned itself down. You can't put those fire logs out. Fire extinguisher did nothing. So I might have gotten Herb's transmitter that day. That night, Herb almost got me.
This just in, ham radio operator W2JBL from New York was found dead, assumed to be electrocuted by a rig he had just acquired from his nemesis.
Jeez. Spectacular. That damn near burned the house down.
Boy, the conditions are changing.
It's alive.
The more I operate down here at this operator position, two things have become increasingly obvious. I need a bathroom, and I need a refrigerator, because both of those are bathroom I could handle Timtron style. Tim used to keep a spackle bucket in the operating room.
Hey,
Let's load
a paper plate and leap into the woodly stove.
You drained your log into the woodly stove?
No. I take a dump on a paper plate that had been used earlier for breakfast, and obviously you're not going to wash a paper plate, so take a crap on it and toss it in the stove. Yeah, that's how I got rid of my turdlets. Into the stove.
Cramped in the woodland stove up at my camp. So what I've started doing that is after the major, the primary wiping has been accomplished, I'll move out into the living room and do the secondary and final wiping and dump it into the woodland stove.
Yep. Yeah, band is going away. You're beginning to get wicked piss weak when Jim checked out. He was kind of piss weak, and at that point he was the strongest I've heard him all evening.
Yeah, you're getting really light yourself. Now we'll see what happens. I missed you on 160. I got on 160 last night around 8 o'clock. I didn't hear anybody, so I'm turning the radio off.
Yeah, I got on 1885, but it was a little after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, then I missed you by an hour, and I don't think I'm going to get down there tonight. I feel like crap. I've been out in the lawn shopping the last couple of weeks. I've been very busy. And either I have a cold or I have COVID. I have a freaking fever, and I don't feel right.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Hopefully it's not the COVID.
It was the biatch in the Home Depot, Chris.
I remember that. Yes, that was Sunday. So I'm sick for what? 5 days. Yes, it was the large woman having trouble breathing at Home Depot. Absolutely. She had a mild fever. Now, to make matters worse, my brother was supposed to come up. I haven't seen him in 6 months. Okay. My brother's supposed to come up Christmas Day. Now, Monday. And I went out today and I bought shrimp and I bought fruit punch or chips. No, I got entertainment. And I got all this food. I gotta be responsible as far as hey, listen, I'm running a fever. I'm gonna come up here at your own risk.
What don't kill you make you stronger.
I'm not as worried about COVID. I believe I had COVID a year ago. I'm vaccinated. I haven't had any health issues at all. I'm 55. Physically, I'm in my 50s. I'm not real worried about it. It's just like the first time I had COVID. It's just like a mild cold.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you're vaccinated, that'll probably be it. I've yet to get it, and I hope to God I don't get it. I just don't want to deal with it. Anyway, I'm going to bail out of here. I have a YouTube recording tunes and stuff like that for Saturday night's Christmas Day broadcast. So, anyway, I'm going to cut out of here. This is WA1H, YLR.
Yeah, okay, Tim. I'm going to get out of here as well. I got to change this configuration from with the Johnson co-op to local No, I really don't need a tuner. To be honest with you, I stay right here on this frequency and it's resident, and I don't need no tuner because I don't talk nowhere else except maybe it. I don't talk nowhere else except right here. Yeah. John.
Well, your man got 3. He don't need 3 yet.
Okay, boy, conditions have changed. Kevin, you're doing real well in here. How are you hearing this thing?
Oh, you're strapping the cure Mary. Doing good, Tim.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're doing quite well. As I said earlier, due to the ice storm, the wire array is iced up, so don't have the use of it until the ice leaves it. That thing is very, very sensitive to frozen precipitation buildup. It messes with it, so when you need it at times, it's just not there. So I'm using a lesser ant, but I'm happy that the conditions are good enough to where you're hearing my sorry ass. I'll see you later. I'm gonna get out of here. This WA1H and YLR.
Yeah, I guess you're on the 160 instead of Tim. Chris was 30 over. You're a little bit later than Chris, but still hammering it pretty hard. No worries at all. 7th grade. Maybe catching tomorrow night, maybe not. Pleasure of going.
All right, Kevin, if I don't catch you, have a high, fine business Christmas, and we'll see you later.
I think I got it running. I don't have it full up. I got it putting out about 3.5 watts. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, okay, it's not telling me on screen what it is.
I'll tell you what, that radio sounds good. That's a pretty neat little item. I was checking it out while you were
working out a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Now, are you driving just that into the L7?
No, I got a little bitty cheapo Chinese thing. It's supposed to be 100 watts, but the original device, it popped real quick, so I replaced it with a different one that I had around here that was a lot more rugged. I got it dialed back a little bit, so it's only doing about 50 watts, 5 in, 50, or 3.5 in, 50 out, and then I have that driving the L7.
I'll tell you what, man, that thing's playing.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Everything's working out just the way I want it to.
It's awakened.
Go.
Yeah, Gravy, he's just Cadillacing.
He's a Cadillacing with 50 in there, over.
Yeah.
Yep, I still get to use the MC60 microphone.
All right.
Which also means I got this Heil Gold line that I'm probably going to put up on back up on eBay.
Yeah, there you go. Well, a lot of people out there like that gold line. Well, what are you using on it now,
I wasn't all that thrilled with it, in some cases it did sound pretty good.
Well, what mic are you using on it now, Ben?
The MC60 Kenwood.
Oh, okay.
That's the mic that's pretty much bounced around from radio to radio. It's either here, the Drake, the Collins, even on a Kenwood.
Isn't that the mic you had on your old 430?
Yep, I believe so. Got adapters all over the place for plugging it into different radios. I even used it on the Yaesu for a while.
See there, Gravy? You can run a Kenwood mic on a Yaesu and make it sound better.
Uh-oh. I think the Yaesu's all right without a Kenwood mic.
Oh, yeah, they are. I'm just pulling your leg.
That gets the wires on doing that.
What's your temperature up there, Gravy?
39 degrees. It's going to be up in the 40s for the next 4 or 5 days, right, Ben?
I don't know. I got 31.3 right now. I did hear the temperature's supposed to go up, so hopefully we'll get rid of this